Computer models just broke. Not a glitch, not a malfunction. They literally cannot agree on what's about to happen, and that should tell you everything. When the most advanced forecasting systems on Earth start showing wildly different scenarios for the same storm only 5 days out, you're witnessing atmospheric chaos that comes along maybe once a decade. Yo, here's what you need to know in the next 30 seconds. 3 separate weather systems are converging across North America right now. The temperature gradient we're tracking is 30 degrees above normal in one location, while blizzards rage 300 miles away. That's not weather. That's atmospheric warfare. And here's my promise to you. By minute 5, you'll understand exactly why meteorologists are calling emergency briefings. You'll know which threat applies to your specific location, and you'll have the 3 critical preparation steps that could make all the difference for your family. Right now, this moment, snow is falling at 2 inches per hour across Minnesota. That rate buries a car hood in just 3 hours. Wisconsin residents are waking up to freezing rain warnings. Michigan is bracing for whiteout conditions by noon. This is happening as you're listening to this. But here's what nobody else is telling you about this pattern. This isn't random. This is a jet stream that's completely lost its normal flow. When you see a roller coaster pattern this extreme, it means the atmosphere is reorganizing itself, and during reorganization, all bets are off. The warmth surging north is breaking records that have stood for decades. Nebraska could hit temperatures above average tomorrow. Think about that. In early January, we're talking about April weather. Dallas might approach 70 degrees. Oklahoma City seeing spring conditions in the dead of winter. Meanwhile, Arctic air is locked in place across the northern states, refusing to budge. This creates what meteorologists call a battleground: warm air pushing north, cold air pushing south. And when they collide, the energy release is explosive. The first Alberta Clipper is racing across the upper Midwest right now. Fast moving, but high impact. Minneapolis, you're in it. Cancel any non-essential plans for the next 12 hours. Roads are becoming treacherous as we speak. Visibility dropping to near zero and heavy snow bands. By this afternoon, that system spreads across northern Wisconsin. Eau Claire, Wausau, Green Bay, you're looking at a dangerous mix. Snow and freezing rain together. That combination creates the worst possible travel conditions. A thin layer of ice under fresh snow. You can't see it, you can't avoid it. It's a recipe for accidents. Tonight, the heavy snow pushes into Michigan. The Upper Peninsula could see 6 inches before sunrise. Detroit and Grand Rapids, evening rush hour will be treacherous. Plan accordingly. Leave work early if possible. This isn't worth risking your safety. Monday morning brings the system into New York and New England. Light snow amounts, but perfectly timed for the morning commute. Boston, Hartford, Albany, give yourself extra time. Bridges and overpasses will be slick even with light accumulation. Now here's where the story intensifies. While that first Clipper moves out Monday night, a second one develops over the northern plains. This one is different. This one has more energy, more moisture, more punch. Tuesday morning, it explodes across the same areas that just got hit. Minnesota and Wisconsin, you're getting a 1-2 punch. Heavy snow and significant ice. By midday Tuesday, we're expecting ice accumulation to reach a 1/4 inch in many locations. Let me explain why a 1/4 inch matters. That's the threshold where tree branches start snapping, power lines start coming down. What looks like a pretty ice coating becomes a dangerous weight problem. Milwaukee, Madison, Green Bay, northern Michigan, you need to prepare for possible extended power outages. Charge every device you own right now. Not tomorrow, right now. Fill bathtubs with water, check your flashlights and batteries, make sure you have enough food that doesn't require cooking. If power goes out during an ice storm, it could be days before restoration in some areas. Wednesday morning, the ice threat shifts into New England. Schools might close, roadways will be hazardous. This is when accidents spike because people underestimate ice. They see a light glaze and think it's fine. It's not fine. Respect the ice. At the 5-minute mark, here's what I promised. The main event, Thursday through Friday, a monster storm system forms over the Rockies. And this is where every forecast model we trust starts showing major disagreements. The American GFS model shows one scenario. Storm develops slower, moves through the weekend. Severe thunderstorms Friday morning from Dallas through Kentucky. By late Friday, severe weather threat shifts into Dixie Alley, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama facing damaging winds, large hail, possible tornadoes. On the winter side, GFS focuses heavy snow toward Indiana, Ohio, and the Northeast late Friday into Saturday. Blizzard conditions possible with high winds. Some locations could see over a foot of snow. This would be a crippling event for major cities in the Northeast corridor. But the European model tells a completely different story. It develops the storm faster. Thursday night into Friday, severe weather breaks out earlier across a much larger area. From Texas through Missouri, even reaching Indiana and Ohio. Most significantly, the European model places heavy snow 400 to 500 miles further west. Nebraska, Kansas, eastern Colorado suddenly facing significant snowfall. Areas that have seen almost nothing this winter getting slammed with 6 to 12 inches. That's their biggest snow event in years. This disagreement is unusual. When we're 5 days from an event, models usually converge. The fact that they haven't tells us the atmospheric setup is incredibly complex. The energy is so powerful, so chaotic, that even supercomputers are struggling. Well, here's what we know with absolute certainty. 3 ingredients are coming together: Gulf of Mexico moisture, Pacific storm energy, a jet stream dip creating a tight window of interaction. The exact timing and location of how these pieces phase together determines everything. A 100-mile shift in storm track changes the entire forecast. Track further north, we're looking at potential record heat in the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes Friday. Temperatures 20 to 30 degrees above normal. That warm air creates massive, severe weather potential. Track further south, severe weather concentrates in the deep south. Snow pushes into the central plains. Either scenario impacts over 100 million Americans. This is truly a coast-to-coast weather event. Let me walk through the temperature evolution because this is remarkable. Tomorrow, record challenging warmth across the central states. Omaha and Des Moines hitting readings you'd expect in spring. This warmth isn't just unusual, it's fuel for the storm system. Or Tuesday and Wednesday, the heat dome expands. Great Plains, Midwest, Southeast, all running well above average. Almost nowhere sees below normal temperatures except the West Coast. This massive warm surge is setting the table for explosive weather. Thursday and Friday bring the uncertainty, where the storm tracks determines who sees record heat and who sees the severe weather. This is why we're monitoring so closely. The difference between scenarios is measured in hundreds of miles and affects millions of people. Now at the 12-minute mark, here's what you actually need to do. First, know your specific threat. Northern tier states, from Minnesota through New England, your concerns are snow, ice, power outages. You need 72 hours of supplies minimum. Stock your pantry. Not just for yourself, but with extra to share. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure they have what they need. That's not just being a good neighbor. That's living out the principle that we're all part of one community. We take care of each other. That's how the good Lord intended it. Central United States, from Texas through Ohio Valley, you face dual threats. Severe weather Thursday and Friday, possibly followed by winter weather into the weekend. You need both severe weather preparation and winter weather supplies. Review your tornado safety plan with your family. Know where your safe spot is. Lowest level of your home, away from windows, something sturdy over your head. Make sure everyone understands the plan. Don't wait until warnings are issued. Southeast states from Louisiana through the Carolinas, severe weather is your primary concern. Friday into Friday night. Tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, all possible. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. Weather radio, phone alerts, local news, western states, Pacific Northwest, and desert Southwest. You're looking at continued active weather, heavy rain and mountain snow. River flooding could become an issue with repeated rainfall. Monitor local flood warnings closely. Here's the truth about preparation. It's not about fear, it's about stewardship. We've been blessed with advance warning. Our grandparents didn't have this. They dealt with storms as they happened. We have days to prepare. That's a gift. Let's use it wisely. If you operate a farm or ranch, secure everything immediately. Livestock need shelter from rapid weather changes. Equipment should be protected. This isn't the time to leave things to chance. Your livelihood depends on these preparations. Construction workers, outdoor laborers, here's your warning. Shut down operations in impact zones Thursday and Friday. No job is worth your life. No deadline is more important than getting home safely to your family. Truckers, you're the backbone of this economy, but you need to avoid the central United States Thursday through Saturday if at all possible. If you must travel through, have multiple contingency plans. Know every truck stop and safe harbor along your route. Don't push through dangerous conditions for any reason. Emergency management teams should activate protocols now. This is a multi-hazard event. Severe weather, winter storms, potential power outages, all happening simultaneously. Coordinate resources before the event starts, not during. School districts should prepare for possible cancellations Wednesday through Friday depending on location. Don't wait until 5 a.m. to make the call. Student and staff safety must come first. Make decisions early enough for parents to adjust. Power companies are prepositioning crews. Smart planning. Ice storms Tuesday and Wednesday could cause widespread outages across the upper Midwest. Having crews staged ahead of time makes restoration much faster. EEA major airports should expect significant disruptions Thursday through Saturday. Chicago O'Hare, Denver International, Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson, all vulnerable. If you have travel plans, build in flexibility, monitor flight status constantly, have backup options ready. EO's interstate highways could become parking lots within hours. I-70, I-80, I-90 through the impact zone, all potential trouble spots. If you don't absolutely have to travel, stay home. If you must travel, pack a full emergency kit. Blankets, water, snacks, phone charger, flashlight, first aid, basic tools. Now here's what makes this significant beyond just one storm. This represents atmospheric reorganization that could persist for weeks. The jet stream pattern we're seeing tends to lock in place. That means active weather continues into February. Both the Pacific and Atlantic are contributing energy. That's unusual for January. When both oceans feed the pattern simultaneously, we get these explosive setups. It's global weather connections creating perfect storm conditions. Seattle and Portland, spillover effects continue all week. Much needed precipitation, but also dangerous mountain snow. The Cascades could measure accumulation in feet. Avalanche danger will increase significantly. Backcountry travel becomes extremely hazardous. Las Vegas and Phoenix might see their wettest January in years. Desert Southwest, don't ignore this. Flash flooding is real. Hard-packed desert soil doesn't absorb water well. Heavy rain runs off rapidly, creating dangerous conditions in normally dry washes. Salt Lake City and Boise, mountain passes could become impassable. Resort areas will see excellent snow for skiing, but travel will be treacherous. Know before you go. Check road conditions constantly. Here's honest truth about weather forecasting. We have incredible tools, satellites circling Earth, radar networks spanning continents, supercomputers processing billions of calculations, decades of historical data. But Mother Nature is complex beyond complete human understanding. When we see this level of uncertainty this close to an event, professional humility is required. We can show you the threats, we can explain the possibilities, we can help you prepare. But we cannot give you perfect certainty about exactly where every snowflake falls or every thunderstorm develops. That's why continuous monitoring matters. Check forecasts multiple times daily, Thursday through Saturday. Weather can change rapidly with systems this dynamic. What's true at 8 a.m. might be different by noon. Social media weather hype creates confusion. People sharing dramatic graphics without understanding the data behind them. Amateur speculation sounds confident but often lacks proper training. During potentially life-threatening weather, trust credible sources. Your local National Weather Service. Experienced broadcast meteorologists. Established services with proven track records. This complexity shows why meteorology requires years of education. It's not just reading numbers. It's understanding atmospheric dynamics, pattern recognition, local effects, climatology. That experience guides interpretation and helps communicate uncertainty honestly. Human expertise becomes critical when computers disagree. We don't just look at model output. We understand why models differ. We know which models handle certain patterns better. We recognize when the atmosphere is too chaotic for confident predictions. Tomorrow's forecast will have much better detail on that Thursday-Friday storm system. The models should start converging on a solution. We'll break down every scenario and what it means specifically for you. Wednesday's update becomes critical. That's when we'll have high confidence on storm track and timing. Make sure you check back daily, maybe twice daily, Thursday and Friday, as events unfold. Here's my commitment. No hype, no exaggeration, just honest assessment of threats and how to prepare. Weather deserves serious professional coverage when lives and property are at stake. By divine providence, we have knowledge to see this coming. By grace, we have time to prepare. Let's use that time well. Check supplies, make plans, look after neighbors. That honors the gifts we've been given and cares for people around us. Let me summarize threats one final time by region. Northern states, Minnesota through New England, multiple rounds of snow and ice, Sunday through Wednesday. Power outages possible. Prepare for 72 hours minimum. Central states, Texas through Ohio Valley, primary window Thursday and Friday. Severe weather first, potentially winter weather following. Dual preparation required. Southeast Louisiana through Carolinas, severe weather Friday into Friday night. All hazards possible. Safety plans ready. Western states, continued active pattern. Heavy rain, mountain snow, flooding potential. Stay informed locally. As we close, remember weather challenges us, but also reminds us we're not in ultimate control. There's wisdom in that. We prepare as best we can, we help our neighbors, we trust that whatever comes, we face it together. That's the real story. Not just the storm, how we respond. With preparation, compassion, understanding that we're all in this together. Tomorrow brings detailed updates on the major storm, better clarity on track, timing, impacts. Be back for that critical information. Until then, stay safe, stay prepared, and may the Lord keep you through whatever weather comes.